Agent, it's Dr. Candle. I want to stress to you the vital importance of safeguarding any civilians you may come across. The math says some of those people must have survived the dollar flu. That means they've got antibodies to it that I need to have a hope in hell of fighting this thing. And the ones who are just sick, having a broader genetic diversity of virus samples will help us track the virus mutation, which is a long way to say, keep those people alive until I get what I need from them. Got that? Great.
Getting the gun ready. Cover me.
And it fits the cleaner MO. If you wanted to eradicate every last vestige of detection of virus, where would you go? Wherever the biggest concentrations are. Refugee camps, shantytowns. Jesus, you don't think they... Draconian solution, but highly effective. Sure, if you're a genocidal maniac. You ever wonder if we can survive this thing? Every day, Doctor. Every day. Good luck, Agent.
They must be planning to burn out the whole damn yard. And when they do, they're gonna kill every last refugee in that shanty town. We need that tank moved somewhere safe. many refugees as they can find.
Medical personnel?
A couple of EMTs in the mix, Doctor? Yes.
A couple? As in only two?
The rest are first aid certified. They know how to tap a vein. Get going, Agent.
Without contaminating the samples, I assume.
Or infecting themselves. Yes.
I'll take your word for it.
Thank you, Doctor. Get moving, Agent. That should do it, Agent.
Warning. Now entering a contaminated area.
Hey, what is up, everyone? The LDB is back at it again, coming at you today with my FIRECREST 2.0 build. If you missed version 1.0, I will have a link for that in the description below as well as at the end of the video, so definitely check that one out. But this build, I went a little bit more into firearms and stamina and still kept a good chunk of electronics to keep those skills strong. So as always, if you enjoy these videos or find them helpful in any way, definitely smash that like button, subscribe for future content if you are new to the channel, and make sure you have that notification bell on, and go ahead, drop a comment down there letting everybody know how you're running FIRECREST in 1.8.3. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's go over these skills and talents really quick. Nothing too crazy here. Obviously, we are going to be using a flame turret. If you watch the 10,000 electronics build video, you will notice here that the damage on the turret has taken a significant hit. We are only at 11,700 hit points here. But again, same thing as I stated in the last video, this does not take into account damage to elites, enemy armor damage, things like that, that will boost up that damage number. So don't fixate on it too much. And the reason for that is because with FIRECREST, the more electronics you have on your build, the longer the enemies are going to burn for, right? So as long as you are going to burn them at all, as long as you can catch them on fire, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. They're flailing their arms around. They're not going anywhere. They're not a threat to you or your turret. They are very vulnerable, and you can just pick your shots and take them out efficiently. It's awesome. I'm loving it. I know a lot of people have been knocking FIRECREST lately, but I don't know why. I'm actually liking this build a lot, and it's been working out awesome for me. Now, the range of the turret, 18.6 meters. That's awesome. It's going to reach out there and burn somebody at a distance. The lifetime is 45 seconds, and the health is 267,000 hit points. It's not as strong as the 10,000 build, obviously, but it's doing okay. It does take a little bit for them to pop this, and as long as it can last roughly 33 seconds, that is the cooldown there, you're going to get it back and you'll be able to throw it right back out there, no big deal. As long as your cooldown is lower than your lifetime, you don't have much to worry about there, and you should be doing just fine, because this is going to burn them before they can even get to it, more or less, and if you place it strategically, you shouldn't have a problem. So moving on to my secondary skills here, the Seeker Mine. I'm using these because, again, like I stated in the last video, it applies the bleed effect. So if you can bleed them with one skill and burn them with the other, giving them 2 status effects, and then you take some shots with your weapon, it's just nasty. They go right down. As well as with the explosion on here is pretty strong, 38,400 hit points, and again, damage to elites, things like that on top of it is going to boost that even more. With a 22-second cooldown. I was trying to go for under 20 seconds, but 22 I'll have to settle for. Not a big deal. Now, I was also going with the BFB Sticky Bomb. I kind of like it because it does do a lot of damage, and again, it does apply that bleed effect. But at the same time, it's one big boom compared to a bunch of little booms every 22 seconds compared to every 34 seconds. So, you know, whatever you want to do, whatever your play style is, try them out, see what you like there. You could always go with the Pulse as well, 25.9 crit chance and damage up. Hey, that's not too bad. You get it back every 20 seconds. As well as the Booster Shot even, 120,000 hit points self-heal. That's pretty good for just the Booster Shot. And the Overdose is at 200,000. So if you like your overheals, that'll work nice for you there. You could even go with an immunizer, throw it back a little bit. I was running with this for a little bit here, and it actually surprisingly works out nice because any grenades, things like that they're throwing at you, you're obviously immune to, and then you can always pop it for a little bit of health, and it comes back every 19 seconds. So either way, you know, try out different skills, see what fits your play style, and go from there. Now, as far as signatures go, I'm going with the recovery link because, again, I'm typically a solo player, and a second life is always a good thing. If you're running with a group, you could always run attack link or a survivor link if you need to, you know, get out of a sticky situation real quick, or if your team's getting lit up, something like that. Pop that and keep on going, but for me, running solo, recovery link is where it's at. So let's go on to the talents. Okay, so the talents that I'm going to be running with are Shrapnel. Applying bleed to any target triggers a 30% chance per each target in a 10-meter radius. This is awesome because, again, those Seeker Mines apply the bleed effect. So if you bleed one of them, there is a 30% chance that you're going to bleed all of them. That is extremely helpful, especially when you pair it with Wildfire. Basically the same thing, just applying Burn. Applying Burn to any target triggers 30% chance per each target in a 10-meter radius. So if you burn one of them, there's a 30% chance you're going to burn all of them. And when you can proc both of these at the same time, that's when it gets nasty. Oh boy, they don't like that at all. So moving on to tech support. If you're going to be running into resistance mode, farming that or anything like that, where you might need your turret alive a little bit longer, definitely try this one out. Kill a hostile while any skill is deployed to extending the active skill's duration by 10%. And it's only 10%, but when you're really burning them down really quick, that 10% can really boost it for a long time. So don't overlook that. But you would have to give up one of your other talents. I would probably go with Chain Reaction. Do not take off Shrapnel or Wildfire, in my opinion. Those two are like a must for me. Now, I should have gone over this a long time ago. Police Up. If you are running a skill build and you can't get ammo rolled onto your backpack or your chest piece, or if you just maybe don't want to run an ammo cache or anything like that, this is a great talent. Kill a hostile with any skill for a 10% chance of auto-refilling all ammo types to capacity. So basically a 1 in 10 chance, that's what that breaks down to, 10%. 1 in 10 chance of auto-refilling all of your ammo types to capacity. That is awesome, and I've tried it out. It definitely works amazing. I was always at full ammo, more or less. So don't overlook that one. Now, I do have Precision on, headshot a hostile to pulse them for 10 seconds. Since I am being a little bit more aggressive with this build and using the weapons more, the pulse definitely will help you out a lot, right? So don't overlook that one. Try that out. And as far as Chain Reaction goes, this is a pretty nice one for this build. You could go with this, or you could go with Demolition Expert, whatever you want to do. Or you could always pair them together like I did with Shrapnel and Wildfire. Damage multiple hostiles with an explosion to apply 20% more damage from the blast. And that's pretty easy to do, especially in per se like resistance mode, like I was saying before, when they're all clumped up together and you just throw that at them. The first one that it hits, if it damages the guy right next to him, 20% more damage. I'm loving it, and it's definitely been working out. So let's go on to the build itself. And here it is. So now that we got those skills and talents out of the way, sorry about that. We have a 6-piece classified FIRECREST. The firearms is at 4,000, the stamina is at 5,000, and the electronics is at 6,000. We have a 4-5-6 build going here with a couple of really nice bullpups for our weapons. If you don't know what a bullpup is, I'm going to learn you something real quick right here. So, there you go. We're talking about Division, and you are actually learning about real-life weapon terminology as well. Hit that thumbs up button if you didn't know what a bullpup was. So either way, let's talk about what we're going to get from FIRECREST itself. We get the 2-piece gives us +3 incendiary grenade capacity. Now, I'm still trying to get used to this because I hoard my grenades typically, like I don't have very many and use them strategically, but in fact, I have a whole bunch of them. So don't be afraid to chuck those grenades out there. The NPCs, in my opinion, they drop them a little bit more frequently, I think, with FIRECREST. At least that's just what I've been encountering. So don't be afraid. Throw those grenades out there. Burn them out. Now, the Set 3 bonus gives you 50% flame turret range and 30% flame turret damage. The 4-piece gives you the talent FIRECREST. Your weapon damage is increased by 15% against burning targets. So as long as they are burning, weapon damage up 15%. And that is huge, especially when I go over my weapons. You will definitely see why. Now, the 5-piece gives you +1 incendiary grenade capacity, another 5% flame turret range, and 20% flame turret damage. Not too bad. Now, the 6-piece here gives you the talent Improved FIRECREST. Bullets have a 2% chance to cause an enemy to burn. Burning targets can cause a fiery explosion when killed every 10 seconds. The agent is immune to their own fiery explosions. The agent immune to their own explosions. Your friends, your family, your teammates, none of them are immune at all. So keep that in the back of your head when you're running with a team. Now, NPCs set on fire by your flame turret will burn 25% longer for every 2,000 electronics. So being at 6,000 electronics, they are going to burn 75% longer than they typically would. It's not the 125% burn longer with the 10,000 electronics build, but I will settle for 75% burn. So let's take a look at the weapons. I'm really excited to show them to you because they're working out awesome. Okay, so my weapons that I'm going to be running, my primary is a Bullfrog. It's almost maxed out. I've been working on it a little bit. That RPM is amazing, 946 bullets per minute. I'm loving it. Now, the talents are actually what make the weapon, though. Ferocious, Destructive, Uncomplicated. These 3 are absolutely amazing. Ferocious, damage against elite and named enemies is increased by 10%. So anybody with a yellow bar, 10% damage up. Destructive, armor destruction value is increased by 15%, and uncomplicated, damage is increased by 15%, accuracy and stability mods reduce this bonus. So follow me here. With FIRECREST, it states, as long as they are burning, weapon damage is up 15%. Uncomplicated, another 15% damage up. With Ferocious, 10% damage up. And then with Destructive, 15% armor destruction up. This is amazing. It's an absolute beast. It shreds. The damage output is through the roof. Now, the mods that I'm going to be using are a magazine with mag size, crit damage, rate of fire. The optics have crit chance, crit damage, and headshot damage. The muzzle has crit damage, stability, and crit chance. And the underbarrel has crit damage, accuracy, and optimal range. So nothing too crazy. Just try to stay away from the stability and accuracy mods as much as possible. You'll see how it's reflected on the character sheet in a little bit by having two mods that have stability and accuracy on it. It's not really much. It's 0.5, I believe. So either way, moving on to my MDR, I really recommend people use this regardless if you have good or bad talents with it, because one, it hits like a truck. Look at that 43.1k per bullet damage. It doesn't have the fastest RPM. It's semi-automatic, but at the same time, with the damage to elites and all that good stuff on top of this, we're hitting a lot harder than 43,000 per bullet, which is huge. And again, destructive, ferocious, but this time we have distracted. Your damage is increased by 18% against targets with status effects. So this is absolutely perfect for this build, as well as pred, things like that. Anything that you're going to give them a status effect with, try out the MDR. Because if you're burning them, bleeding them, anything like that, 18% damage up, again, on top of the 15% you're getting from FIRECREST, the 10% from Ferocious, 15% from Destructive, so on and so forth. It just keeps on stacking, and I am loving it. Now, for the MDR, one thing I would like to recommend, try out using a C7-9 scope that has a 3.4 zoom, because you can zoom at a distance, and with this weapon, the damage at a distance is absolutely amazing. Definitely try that out. It's been working out great. So let's get on to the actual gear pieces and see what I have them all rolled for. Alright, so my chest piece is rolled for firearms with enemy armor damage, skill haste, and ammo capacity. And we have 2 stamina with skill haste mods on there. The mask is rolled for electronics with skill power, damage to elites, and it has a stamina with damage to elites mod on there. The knee pads are rolled for stamina with skill power, damage to elites, shock, and burn resistance. So this is almost god roll for me, I'm thinking right here. And moving on, we have a stamina with damage to elites mod with a 4% turret damage mod. The holster, we have almost maxed out. It's right there. I mean, I think I have to re-roll like one more time, or optimize, I'm sorry, one more time. But either way, we have that skill haste on there, and we have a 4% turret damage mod on there. Now, the gloves, we have rolled for electronics with skill haste, enemy armor damage, and assault rifle damage on there. So, overall, we're hitting a lot of different corners with this, and it's been working out great. Now, going on to the backpack, we have rolled for electronics with skill power and ammo capacity. And we have a stamina. It's a 267 stamina mod. That's why I mainly used it. It's a big stamina mod, and it gives us a lot of skill power. So that's great right there. And we have 2 4% turret damage mods on there as well. So that's about it, guys. Let's take a look at the character sheet and just see what this all breaks down to. Weapon damage, 17.5 per bullet. Crit chance is terrible, and so is the damage. We're not really focusing on that. Headshot damage, though, 81%, so that's good. Aim for the face. We have a little bit of range on there. The all weapons damage bonus of 14.5%. That is from the Bullfrog Uncomplicated. We are not getting the 15%. We are getting 14.5 since I had a couple of mods on there with accuracy and stability. And then we have assault rifle damage up 12% here. We have damage to elites at 43%. We have the enemy armor damage at 52.5%. So right there, that's what I mean. The base damage and everything that you see, you have to add 43% to it, and then, multiply in the 52.5 enemy armor damage. We're hitting like a truck. Just take my word for it. It is what it is. The The skill power, 234,000, nothing crazy. Skill haste is at 31%. I just simply try to break that 30% mark, so you're getting them back roughly a third faster than you normally would. That's all that is. And survivability, toughness at 388,000, max health 268,000. So that's a lot better than that 199 that we were running with the 10k build. And with a little bit of armor, we're not doing too bad. Now, again, armor, we're getting there with it, 30.92%. Nothing too crazy, but it's been working out. Health regen, so on and so forth. We have burn resistance here, 32%, and we have shock resistance at 29%. Those numbers will obviously go up once I fully optimize things, but it is what it is, and I think you guys are getting the picture. So, if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful in any way, definitely smash that like button, subscribe for future content, especially if you are new to the channel, and make sure you have that notification bell on, and go ahead and drop a comment down there letting everybody know how you're running FIRECREST in 1.8.3. So until next time, guys, I hope you take it easy. I will see you then. Later.